How's everyone's evening so far?
Excellent.
Okay, cool. Any takeaways? Anyone said just popcorn, one-word answers?
Refreshing.
Refreshing? Okay.
Empowering.
Great.
Insightful.
Anyone else have any shares? One word?
Similarities.
Yeah.
Genuine.
Belonging.
Thank you for sharing. It's not too often you see a speaker sitting down in a chair in front of the audience, right? I've shared a bit about my journey. For those that don't know, I have a disability called muscular dystrophy. So it means that I can only stand for long periods of time and I can only sit for long periods of time without my body becoming agitated or uncomfortable. That's where the real growth is though for me. So what most people perceive as someone who's got it all together, who's doing his thing, sharing his magic with the world, is actually sometimes a struggle. And what happens when you're born in a world who instantly criticizes every moment, like and be real with you guys, the last week has been absolutely fucked on my body. I've been unwell the last few days. What if you struggle getting out of bed every morning? It's not always about struggle, it's always about the bright side of things, right? I didn't think this was possible. Running an event like this, having everyone here. A guy with disability, not knowing what he wanted to do with his life. And it wasn't until I lost my friends that I chose to decide to do something in my life. So for the last 5 years, as of August, I've heavily invested in mentorship, coaches, mentors, breathwork, all the modalities you can think of. To come back down to my wholeness. To come back to who I really am. And some of the feedback was this event feels very homey and calming. That's what it gets to be inside of all of us. So if you ever see someone struggling with a disability, someone who's got a disability, whatever it is, whether it's physical, mental, ask, are you doing all right? sometimes we're not. And the hardest part about running these events, it's easy for some. They say without a disability isn't a heightened ability. And Spirit's led me here in this position, in my chair. Not because I forced myself here, because I chose to be here. Just like each and every one of you, you chose to be here. To share your gifts with the world, to share your magic, to share who you are, without hiding behind masks, books, glasses, whatever it is. Sitting there, breathing into the nose, out through the mouth. So I invite all of you, whether it's now, whether it's tonight, whether it's in the future, when you leave this room, to consider your own vulnerability. Where have you been hiding in your life? Because just like I said, Spirit led me to this chair. Spirit led me to this venue. Spirit led me to everywhere. This next speaker we've got, her story is power. And there can be a level of joy and excitement in the vulnerability. But if you're not willing to face it off with yourself, how can you expect the others to feel it? And I want you all to know that you are very much appreciated. Most of us are entrepreneurs in this room. Do your family get to hear the real side of you? Do your loved ones? Does the world? Just like I can stand up and still do the things I do, even with disability. I'm super proud of it. I also hate. I'm excited for what's next. I'm also cherish this moment right now. So, is anyone ready for our next speaker?
Yes.
I didn't hear that.
Yes.
What was that again? What can I say about this next speaker we've got coming on? I still remember the first time I witnessed her speak on stage. Got invited to an event. Don't remember when it was, 2 years ago, potentially 3 years ago. It was just captivating as she spoke. Being invited into our own authenticity and vulnerability. And not knowing the full front of her story until she said yes when I asked about her story. And that room had way more people than this. Way more people. And this woman is a testament to her journey, what she's been through, what she's gone through. Because if life throws you a bad hand, how do you get yourself out of it? You trust in the divine source, in the divine power that's beyond you. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Samantha Jayne.
Thank you so much, Kyal. You know what, guys? I feel like we need a little bit of a shift of energy. I want to do something for Kyal. I'd love for us to do a bit of a drum roll. Who's in for a drum roll? Yeah. I feel like we need to get our feet on the ground, stamp as hard as we can, and then we're going to yell from the absolute peak of our voice, kudos Kyal. Who's in?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do 5 seconds of a drum roll. Hopefully we're getting it on camera, and then we're going to yell kudos Kyal for this event. Okay, let's go. Yeah, it takes so much courage, so much vulnerability to actually be here, to put an event like tonight on. And I know that tonight there's 20 of us here, but in a year or however long there'll be 200. Just say yes if you believe it.
Yes.
You know, before I was walking on stage this morning, tonight actually, yeah, I've already lost the time. You know, there was this quote. Who knows Brene Brown? Yeah. This really hit me. Vulnerability is the first thing I look for in you, but it's the last thing I want you to see in me. In you, it's courage. In me, it's inadequacy. In you, it's strength and lovability. In me, it's shame. Who can really resonate with that? Okay, let's take our shoes off. If you're taking shame off tonight, let's take them off. Okay. I always feel a little bit more grounded when I have my shoes on. And that feels way better. So, my story is, at 18 years old, I found myself in a mental health hospital. I know we've spoken a lot tonight about physical disability, but the not so spoken about disability is the invisible one. When you walk into a room and everybody sees you looking one way, but you're battling with an invisible disability, anxiety, depression. At 18 years, I was in that mental health hospital on the highest doses of mental health medication. And every idea I held about who I could be, what I could do, it all just crumbled. I had a doctor sitting opposite me, and he said to me, your biggest dreams, by the time you're 30, all of them will be over. Who's ever had somebody tell them a limit on who they could be, what they could do? Yeah. Look, I'm pretty stubborn. I've got tough skin. But today I stand here at 33 and I can say that those words haunted me my whole life. Because a lot of us, when we hear those words, we want to prove them wrong, don't we? Yeah. So I walked out of that mental health hospital, and the only thing that I took with me was researching greats who had different wiring in their brain, and I used their stories as inspiration. I saw that you could be unique, you could be different, you can have darkness, but we can turn that darkness into art. Right? Some of the best poets, some of the best actors, the best speakers, they have had this immense connection to suffering that has inspired them. And so that became my light. But at the beginning, it was just a little flicker of a light inside of me, a little bit of hope. By the time I was 19 years old, I'd been suicidal, I'd done a lot of different things, but my dad gave me a phone book and he put a desk in the corner of my room and he said, you know, I've got this underperforming property development, so why don't you just give it a crack? And so I'm calling and I'm trying to turn it into a big brand, and it was only that connection with that little flicker of light, that desire to want to prove somebody wrong, but more importantly, this desire to walk by faith, not sight. This desire to say, you know what, this mental health hospital is not going to be my destiny. Those words that were spoken over me are not going to be my future. I had enough connection to that thing inside, that flicker of light, that flicker of hope, to say, I believe that there is something greater than me that is rooting for me. Just nod your head right now if you feel like there's something bigger than you that's rooting for you. Yeah. So my prediction is by the end of tonight's talk, everybody in this room is going to be standing. And the person that is standing first receives the biggest reward. Oh, wow. And I'll get you to keep standing. Okay, great. So all I had was that flicker of light, that flicker of hope inside. And in the next few short years, I turned this business into a multi-8-figure brand. The funny thing about the word disable, it's like when you take away it's just able. When I started to see that the things that the doctor said disqualified me, actually God said qualified me. When I started to say that the things that they kept saying were a weakness, my intensity, my emotion, my self-expression, actually I was like, what if that made me able? What if the things, the stories inside your mind that you say are too much or too less about you is the exact damn thing that is going to make you successful? It's the exact thing that God wired into you by God's design for God's purposes. Is only one person saying? Because I had to decide, you know what, I'm going to walk by faith, not by sight. I had to decide that I'm going to listen to God's voice and not their voices. I had to decide that, you know what, my future is in my hands. And there's two people standing. See, the thing with vulnerability is that it comes with a price that you must pay. And if you're looking around in this room, you're still walking by sight and not yet by faith. There's got to be a line in the sand moment where you say, you know what, I'm done looking outwards. I'm done looking at where I came from. I'm done looking at my circumstances, money, time, the people around me and their approval and their opinions, and I'm just going to look inside. I'm going to look at that light, I'm going to listen to that whisper, and I'm going to take a step forward, because courage comes from vulnerability, right? So right now, here tonight, you have a decision to make. A decision to look at where you are looking. Are you walking by faith? Or are you walking by sight? The sight of who you'd normally be in a room like this and whether you'd stand or not. The sight of the voices that people have spoken over you or not. Because see, there's no other moment other than this moment to be the one to choose. There's no other moment than this moment to say, I'm going to not be who I was yesterday. I'm not going to be insecure. I'm not going to care what other people think. I'm not going to do that thing. Because in a moment, you stand. In a moment, you make the decision. And that's what I did. From 19 at that mental health hospital, I made a decision. I didn't have any business degree. I couldn't even get out of bed every day. I was suicidal for most of it. But you know what got me out of bed? Believing in a purpose larger than me. Making it not about me. I was afraid. I was insecure. I wasn't feeling great every day. But I was standing for a mission way larger than me. What's the mission that you're standing for? Because it should get you right up out of your seat right now. What's the mission that you're standing for? And if you're not in touch with it, close your eyes. This isn't about anybody else here. This is about you and that mission. This is about trusting that God has uniquely qualified you to go through a set of circumstances, a set of experiences that give you a story, that help you to be able to stand on a stage just like this and tell your story and to connect to the hearts and souls and minds of them and then make a difference that only you can make. And if you don't truly believe it, you're going to have to stand up to believe it. Because the truth is that there's only one you that's gone through the set of circumstances that you've gone through to be able to make the impact that you are here to make. I wasn't confident. I didn't have any degree. It's illogical that I created a multi-8-figure brand in a few short years because, guys, I wasn't doing it. I was walking by faith, not sight. God got the glory because I couldn't have done it. It didn't make logical sense because there's something that damn happens when you start to walk by faith and not by sight. When you start to be the type of person that says, you know what, not by my might, but God by your might. There is something that happens when you start to recognize that it's not just about relying on yourself, but relying on who God is. And when you say, God, you know what? Use me. God, use me. I say yes, and then what happens is on the other side of that, God will form you. God will strengthen you. God will give you every single thing that you need when you give God your yes. We're about to finish, but I'm just going to give you one more opportunity. Are you going to give God your yes tonight? Are you going to say, God, use me? Are you going to say, God, you know what? I'm no longer a slave to fear. You're going to say, God, use me. I'm ready for this. This isn't about me anymore. I'm ready for this. We're going to finish with a declaration of faith. If that's you, we're going to bring the musician here. Mitch, sorry. Okay. And I just say, I feel that this room, there's something special that's going to come out of this room. A ripple effect of every person that's standing right now who's saying, you know what, God, use me. Okay, Mitch.
It's coming.
Oh, he's coming. Yeah. So there's a beautiful song that really spoke to me. It's called, we're doing a song, Spirit Lead Me.
I don't know how to say this.
Oh, I thought we were briefed. Okay, great. Now I'm
I've got it.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, I'm not being very close.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So, I know I come across confident, I'm really not. I'm just going to give God glory for that. But I think that sometimes we just need a moment for ourselves. So I'm going to get everybody to close their eyes, and you have the opportunity to stand by the end of this. This isn't about anybody else. It's just you making that internal decision to say, I'm no longer a slave to fear. But what we're going to do is we're going to sing this song, Spirit Lead Me. You can just listen to the words and let's all sing it. Let's sing this declaration of faith for each and every single person here.
My trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk.
This is just a moment to make the internal decision. I'm not what others have said I'll be or do. It's a moment to say I'm no longer a slave to fear. It's a moment to say I'm ready for this. I'm ready for God, what you've called me towards. And this is just an internal decision for you. I encourage you to stand if you're ready for that. Make that declaration of faith.
My trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters wherever you would call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander, and my faith will be made stronger in the presence of my Savior. Spirit, lead me where
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this group is incredible. So I just want to leave you with one thing tonight. Walk by faith, not by sight. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So good. Well done, Samantha.
That was very, very beautiful. Thank you. You can sit down if you want to sit down. Any questions for Samantha Jayne?
Yes. Thoughts around medication and mental health?
Oh, such a good question. I'm okay with it. Yeah. I went through a period where I detoxed myself from all of it. But then, like at the moment, I'm actually on a small dose of an antidepressant because I've been going through like an ovarian cancer scare and it had an impact. I had to walk myself through coming back onto that. I think that it's good to take people out of like an episode. I think that there's no right or wrong. It's just what the individual needs. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Any takeaways? So far? Yep.
Or a statement.
One word.
Can I give
One word.
3 words? Only 3.
Yeah.
Joy.
Right.
Joy. Yeah. Joy.
Love that. I saw your boldness. Yeah. That boldness is just going to carry you so far.
Thank you again so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a 15-minute break and come back.
Okay,
Our
break
final
time.
speaker.
Break time for our final speaker. Cody is up next. We'll see you again soon.